Well, hello, my friends. This is Jay, and this is Jay's Knit and Purl Jam. And before I get started on, the last thing that I wanted to share with you for the end of the year, and I never did get to, I didn't have time in some of the other videos to talk about some of my new stash enhancements. So I wanted to do this real quick just to let you see. Oh my gosh, Jay's already started Christmas shopping for herself. I know, I don't need a thing, but I couldn't resist. You know, I just can't pass up a deal. So, really quick, let me just tell you. First of all, back towards, I don't know, I guess August or September, I can't remember now. And I didn't have, I couldn't fit it in into some of the videos before. But as you know now, if you had a Hancock's near you, I guess they all went out of business nationwide. At least ours in our state or in my area. I'm north of Atlanta. And they all went out of business. And I mean, it was like the employees didn't know. It was like one day everything going great. Next day, I guess they got the word and prices, they start slashing stuff and putting signs up, going out of business, and having the little people out on the curb and the signs going up. So, I thought, oh my gosh, well maybe they're going to move somewhere else, or maybe somebody bought them out or something. I don't know. It was quick and it was fast. And of course, I started to buy a few things here and there. But mainly, I just kind of waited because, the closer it get to them, and they, let's see, they didn't give themselves but about a month. A lot of stores give themselves 2 or 3 months, or the people where they're leasing the space. But this was something fast. Like I said, even the employees were caught off guard. So, real quick, I just wanted to show you just things I picked up at the last minute. I mean, like the last couple of weeks when they were just giving the stuff away almost. I mean, I got this for hardly nothing, 50 cents or something, or 75 cents. They were just, I bought a lot of these little markers, which I use, and at Joann's, of course, sometimes they're like $3 and $4, maybe $5, all these markers, and, or little stitch places where you, place markers. So I thought, well, I can't go wrong. I mean, what's the sense of saying, well, I can always get that at Joann's with a coupon? Yeah, I could, but I can get it right now for like 50 cents. I know, I just couldn't help it. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit. I just said, oh man, I just couldn't. So I'm just showing you a couple packs. Oh, I bought a whole bunch. Well, I can give them to people, put them in as little stocking stuffers or whatever. Had a lot of tips. I have a lot of needles, and I use tip protectors. I put them on the tip of my needle so I don't lose stitches. I always see people pulling their stuff out, and they're always losing their stitch. Well, at Joann's, of course, without a coupon, these are, or Michael's, anywhere else, they run probably about $5, which I never could understand why they'd be so expensive, little pieces of rubber, but I got these, like I said, for 50 cents, 75 cents. It wasn't much. So I got a whole bunch. I just stopped myself up for as long as I can knit, I guess. I just raked them off. Nobody else was taking, and this was down to the last few weeks. I guess a lot of knitters, a lot of people were buying fabrics. Hancock was mainly about fabrics. And, of course, they did have some yarn. I raked in some yarn. If I don't get to the yarn this time, I can do it the next, have something to talk about, in first part of the year. But I just wanted to show you these, and I even picked up some of these large protectors, and I don't hardly even use large needles, but I couldn't help it for 75 cents or 50 cents when you normally pay almost $5. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense not to get it when the getting's good. So I brought some of those, and a lot of other, and I bought a few needles too, but I bought a bunch of number 8s because I use number 8s when I'm doing my sleeve or to a sweater or something. And, I knit a lot at one time. I may have 2 or 3 sweaters going. Once I cast on, once I get an idea or see something and think, oh, I find a stitch, well, I go ahead and cast on. And a lot of times I'll have to leave when I get up to the arms, maybe I have to leave the needle, go to finish another one so I can start filming the other one. So I don't have to change. So I buy a lot of number 8, 16 inches for my sleeves. And then they also had, they were just, like I said, they were just almost jumping into my bag. They had a lot of double points left. And I have a lot, but I went ahead and bought some. Number 8s, of course, is what I use a lot, like I say, for sleeves and cuffs. I also bought some 7s. And like I said, I don't have, when I started knitting and was able, and just kind of, you know, doing it on my own, and Joanne, this is about the nicest needle I can get at that time. And then, of course, when I started knitting at knit shops, of course, I could get Addie's and Knitter's Pride and other ones. And I have a few of those, but for some reason, I've always, you know, once you get comfortable with something, you know, I wear Easy Spirits. They're real comfortable once you get comfortable. So every time they come on sale, I just buy them in all different colors. So that's what I do with knit needles. I got used to Clover. I like the others. I buy them to, you know, because my friends will buy them, and, you know, I wanted to be like them. But then I just bring them home and, like, I go back to what's comfortable. So anyway, I had these. And there was more Hancock stuff. I just didn't want to bring them all out. But then, now that's just some of the Hancock things. Like I said, I'll do the yarn maybe next year, you know, once we get into the first part of the year. So I have things to show you. And then the other week or a few weeks ago, I noticed every once in a while, you know, one of my favorite stores is Tuesday Morning. And around this time of year, if you have one near you, if you check for some reason, remember last year or the year before, they had Chow Goods. I had not been I didn't know anything about Chow Goods. I had not ever used them because they weren't in any local stores. Now, yeah, you could probably buy them online or at the knit shop maybe, but anyway, they had them. I don't know how they get these things, if stores go out of business or stores don't take them and they put them off into these stores that sell them at a discount. And remember, I raked in Chow Goods. I mean, I raked in. I had every size. I mean, they were letting them go for a little of nothing. Well, guess what? Now, I don't know what is going on with Clover. But Clover needles, for some reason, Tuesday Morning just had, they must have bought a whole pallet for all their stores, you know, of these Clover needles. And the thing that tipped me off that something's going on, I don't know what's going on with Clover. Are they redoing it? Somebody's bought them and they're going to change the brand. I don't know. But the ones at Tuesday Morning, first of all, I got a good deal. $2.99. Look at that. Even with the coupon, you can't beat that. $2.99. Okay, but all of them will say old tip. So I assume that's the original tip, like all my needles would have, because I've been buying them for years, you know, in every size and every whatever. So it says old tip. See, all of them. So I don't know if they're getting ready to do something, change the tip, change how it feels, how, I do not know, but they are getting rid of. But now Joann's do not have this old tip on their needles. Only the ones at Tuesday Morning. So there was some kind of buyout, or they're dumping some of these needles. But Tuesday Morning is, if you check yours, the reason I'm bringing it up, because I know a lot of you who knit lace weight or like the small needles, they had lots, just bukus of 1s and 2s and 0s and you know, the smaller needles that you like. And they had them in like 48-inch length. I bought these because these are the sizes that I like. 8s and 9s and 10s. But I had just, well, the other day I was working on something the other week, and I just said to myself, Jay, you need to get some 40 inches or 48-inch needles. I need to go on my friend Amazon and check them out, because Joann only goes up to 32 or 36, I think, on theirs. They do not carry 48. Stopped at Tuesday Morning, wasn't looking for knit needles, I'll just check every once in a while. I'll just go every couple of weeks. walk around, look in the needle section, walk to the back to the clearance aisles, and lo and behold, on in the knitting area, I found 48-inch in length clover needles, old tip, $2.99. I raked in 8. I'm sorry, I just couldn't help it. I raked in 9s because I use a lot of 9s. I use a lot of 8s when I'm doing sweaters. More 9s. I got so crazy I even picked up some 7s. 48-inch. Number 6, 48 inches. Now, who could pass up a deal like that? Just who could pass up a great buy, even with a coupon? All of this less than, well, hardly anything really. And then they had a few double points that I like, especially the short ones where I use, like I was doing the cabling. These are number 9s. I just mainly cable with them. I don't, with these little short ones. And then, of course, they had the regular size. And I picked up some of these, even though I had bought some from Hancock's too. But they had the short ones. Oh, here's the ones. Oh, I got 2 packs of short ones. I got a pack of 9s, and here's a pack of 10.5. So they will be great. $2.99. Old tip. Well, we'll have to do some investigating. We will have to put our private eye on and find out what is going on with clover. But Jay has, I have over clover, I have over clover-fied myself. I have just spent some of my Christmas money, and it's not even Christmas yet. Woohoo! So, just wanted to let you see. Just want to let you see what I found. And hopefully, like I say, if you have a Tuesday morning near you, check it out. Hey, every dime saved is a dime you can buy something else with. All right, now I'll get to what I wanted to show you. Let me clear all this up, of course. Put all my finds up. Okay, so like I said, I really didn't plan on anything to try to end the year because we really have been busy. I mean, I'm telling you, I'm so proud of you, and I'm proud of myself and how we stuck to it and how we got a lot of things done. But of course, things do come up. And I thought, well, I'll go ahead and share this with you before I send this out. And then this way, this could be my, my Christmas project. Well, of course, one of my friends called, and, because when you knit or crochet, they always know that you have stuff. They don't knit or crochet that much or don't have time, but they always know you have stuff. And, of course, by being on YouTube, of course, they can see a lot of the samples and things that I'm doing. Well, anyway, she called, and I haven't done this in a long time because I started doing my own little kind of donations, taking things to the churches that I donate yarn to that do charity knitting and, just things like that. Taking my own things, I'm not so much in a big group like I used to be. But instead of Secret Santa, of course, we have Secret Angels. And so a friend of mine called and she said, well, check around and see if you've got something. And it's for one of the ladies in the church, somebody that she really wanted to kind of, just really uplift and give something nice to. And I said, well, okay, let me look around. I said, well, what color, what do you think, so I'll know when I look through my stash if I have enough skeins or, if I need to go get more. She said, well, since it is Christmas, she said, I think she really, how sometimes older ladies, we really like red. So she said, oh, I know she would really like something red, so that's why I thought to call you because I figured you would have a lot of red this time of year. Well, so happens, yes, you're right, I do. So, for this project, I thought, okay, so I told her yes, so now I'm bound, you know. Now that I've said yes, then I have to, like, no matter what else I had, what else I was working on, or what else I had in mind or planned to do, I said yes. So here I go. But at least, you know, I think she'll like this. Well, first of all, when you're under pressure or you take on maybe extra, you know, things that you hate, you didn't want to say no to. You know, you just said, well, you know, they kind of expect it from you. They just think we can do miracles. You know, they figure since we knit or crochet or if you sew, people just figure, well, you can just do miracles. You can just whip this stuff out. But I've learned, okay, if I do that, then don't go for something new and try to do extraordinary. Something that I learned long time ago from when I was doing craft shows. Sometimes the worst thing, the thing that I thought, or the projects that I thought were not any good and I was going to scrap, somebody at the craft show absolutely loved them. You know, if you can do something more than maybe, you know, maybe that person can't do what you can do. Well, they just absolutely love it. So I learned that in real life when I was doing craft shows. So instead of looking for a new pattern, a new thing, a new twist, a whole new thing, I really don't know, you know, she didn't tell me who it was. And best thing to do is go back to something old, tried and true. Something old, something that you've tried, and something that works out really true, really nice. So do you remember in one of my first videos, I did this little scarf because I was just learning how to do tutorials. You know, I was trying to show, you know, trying to teach myself or whatever, and just trying to see if people would like it. You know, I had no idea. Turned out to be one of the best efforts I made. It was called the Blue Glitter Scarf. I wore it the first New Year's, the first Christmas, I think. And it was supposed to be my New Year's scarf. And I had some pretty paillette I had gotten at Michael's, and it was blue glitter. And so I just simply called it the Blue Glitter Scarf. You know, I didn't have a name or anything. And I'm telling you, it's just a simple one row crochet, and you just repeat that one row over and over. And so it's, you know, it's nothing special. It's just shells stacked on top of shells. You know, that pattern's been around forever. And so I just thought, well, she hadn't seen it. She didn't know how to crochet, or she probably doesn't even know nothing about me on the YouTube. So here we go. I decided to take that pattern, and there's one pattern that's exactly like it, but you leave off one stitch and it makes a whole new look. And so it's one that I keep in my head. You know, there's always at least one crochet pattern you should have in your head at all times that you can do without any look. You don't have to look it up. It's just, you just know it by heart. Just as well as a knit pattern. You just know by heart. I just know the forgotten stitches. Knit two, yarn over, knit two together. Yarn over, knit two together. Yarn over, knit two together. And just keep going. You know, it makes a cute lace. I can be anywhere as long as I have my needles. And, you know, if I get bored with wherever I am, I can just do those stitches. So this is what I came up with, and I'll show you how simple the stitch is, but here it is, a simple, like I say, it was the blue glitter scarf, or how about this one, the red glitter scarf, the red glitter scarf. And it's going to be a little different than the blue one. Now I can't get this all on this camera thing. Let me see, can I put some of it up here? And, you know, everyone, I didn't have time for shawl. Maybe you didn't, you know, maybe, you know, like I said, I don't know who it is, and maybe they don't even like shawls, but every woman could use a beautiful red scarf to go over a beautiful black dress or whatever, or a nice suit. And the way this one works out, you have all buttonholes already in the lace. All I had to do was just find some pretty buttons to come down the front, just to add something a little different, just to make it really pretty. And of course, slide it up. See, can I slide it up on camera? Of course, I put some beautiful fringe on the ends. So it's like a shawl, but a skinny shawl. It can be a scarf, just like you saw, like you see in the pictures, where you can simply, if it's unbuttoned, you would have this side, maybe the long side, just like in the pictures. You'd wrap that around your neck, and then you would put that over the shoulders and let the buttons just look real pretty. Kind of hard to see on that. That's why I tried to make sure I got it with the pictures. And just several ways to wear it. Really quick, really fast. Only one row to just keep repeating this one row with this one stitch change. And you can have this beautiful, beautiful, instead of blue glitter scarf, you can have Jay's red glitter scarf. I can't say glitter tonight. Oh, me. Okay, so what do you think? You want to give this a try? All right, let me show you. Let me show you the yarns that I came up with. All right, let's see. Make sure I can get as much of this on camera. I'm not too close. All right, first thing, I had to look through my stash, because once I give my, once I'm committed to it and I told her yes, then there's nothing else to do. Don't be trying to back out. Don't be feeling bad. Don't be feeling sick. Don't think, oh, Lord, but now I got, no. You said. So I looked through my stash and I found 2 yarns that would work perfectly. So either one of these you may have. The first one is Karen Simply Soft, and it's the Party. And this is simply called, is it called Red or Scarlet? Let's see, it's called Red Sparkle. Imagine that. So this is Karen Simply Soft Party Red Sparkle. And you can almost, I mean, they are almost identical. You can tell once you have them together, though if you had them, Karen is a little heavier weight, but it still drapes beautiful, because I love the Karen yarns anyway. So that's one. The one that I worked in, because I had this too, and it was just really, a little, it's a thinner yarn. It's from Hobby Lobby. I think that came from Joann's, the party. Yeah, I did. Karen's Simply Soft Party. I got it at Joann's. Trying to get my little ads out. Okay, this is from Hobby Lobby. This is Yarn Bee yarn, and this is called Fetching. Now, I know you've seen this down there on the kind of near the bottom of the shelf. I don't know why they put it so low. It should be up high, because it's a really pretty yarn. But it is called Fetching, and this is the color Ruby. And so you're going to need at least 3 skeins. I would have at least 3 on hand. Otherwise, you may have to run back out by the time you get down to the fringe and you realize, oh, I don't have enough to do the fringe. Because you really want this to be long. This is a long scarf. Long, and so anyway, so Fetching, and the color is Ruby. And you're going to need at least 3 skeins, either one that you pick out if you have it. Now, if you find another one and you like it in another color, you don't have to do red. I mean, it's just up to you. But those are what I decided to pick from, because I had plenty. So now, all I have to do is show you the simple stitch. I am using a J. I will be using a J crochet hook. Yes, even on this thin yarn, because I wanted it to be very lacy and very drapey. So I didn't want it to be tight. And I don't even know what they call for. They call for an H. No, I'm using a J. And you'll see how nice it drapes, because it's, it'll be very loose. It makes a very loose fabric, and it's very lacy. And it just works well with the buttons too. It makes nice buttonholes. So I am using a J hook for even this yarn here, for either one of them. Does that make sense? Okay. There's nothing to do now but just clear it up and show you how simple this stitch is. It's a 1, 2, 3. I hope it's a winner. It is a quick crochet, but it's one that you can keep in your head, and you can crochet it any time. And you will love the outcome. It's just that easy and simple. Let me clear it up and we'll get started. Okay, before we get started with this simple shell stitch, kind of like shell 101. Okay, I took a minute. I don't know, I was looking for something. And look, I found this. Now, this is real old. I don't know how old this is. I could only find one skein. That's why I say you have to look way back in the back in a bag somewhere. This is patent Divine. Do they still make that? I've had this for years. For a long time. Kept thinking I was going to make something, a hat or something. I don't know. So, look at that. And let's see. The color is icicle white. And let's see if there's any yard. Oh, 142 yards. Now, I only found one. But wouldn't that be a pretty scarf, like in the, what we're going to do? I could just make a short, light scarf collar, you know, just crochet as far as I can go. Oh, but then I don't know if I'd have enough for the fringe. I'd have to think of something else, some other way to put fringe on there. But look at it. It looks kind of mohairish. Look, oh, isn't that pretty? I've had this for I don't know how long. I just run across it while I was looking for something just a minute ago. From the time I left to the time I came back. Look, Jay found something else to another yarn. Look at that. In her stash. And I bet you got some in there that you need to find too. All right, we'll put this back and we'll think what we can do with this. Like I said, it's only one skein, 142 yards. Oh, if I start the scarf, I'd have to think of some other, maybe it just wouldn't have any fringe. Okay, we'll put that back. All right, here we go. This will be row 1 of Jay's red glitter scarf. Now, you know I don't count chains if I can because I try to just work with the number of repeats I want for a project. And in the original, this one, the original, I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I did 9 repeats. Let's see, can I pull it up a little more? Oops, wait, I'm sorry, I need to go back. Oops, need to go back the other way. There we go. Back it out a little bit. Okay, so again, I did 9 repeats of this little shell pattern. And I like odd numbers because that way I always know where the center one. You know, if I have 9, then I know that I've got 4 and 4, and then there's going to be 1 in the center in case I ever need to mark the center for some reason, or find the center, or know where the center is. And so that's just the easy way. So you can do 9, or you can go up to 11. You might want yours wider. You might have, you know, the person you're going to give it to may, you know, be a little larger. So that's how you can increase it too, in width. So instead of 9, go to 11. Something like that. If you want yours really skinny and just wrap it around your neck, then you'd go down to maybe 7. And you'd have a skinny red glitter scarf. Okay. So, but there we go. So now let me get back to where we're going to start. And I am going to pull in. Just shut your eyes just for a second. There we go. So I can do the simple stitch. Okay. Oh, I got a new box from Joann's. Isn't that pretty? I'll zoom back out later. So now I can focus in right here. I'm trying to learn where to focus. And we will be doing row 1. There's my trusty little row. I like that little idea, don't you? Okay, so I've made a long chain because, like I said, I work with repeats, so more so than how many chains. Well, I don't know. Because then when you're designing things, sometimes you're always changing things. So I hate to have to pull things out and start over. So I just make a long chain. And you think, well, Jay, that wastes a lot of yarn. Well, you don't pay that much for this yarn. And whatever yarn, what I do with that yarn is I save it. And you can make a flower, or you can use it for other things. You can use it for sewing. There's a lot of little things. I just keep it in a bag or something. Okay, so here we go. Row 1. I've chained at least about 14 inches. Say, you ought to be able to decide with how many repeats out of this 14-inch chain. Okay, now, in the 4th chain from the hook, so I count back 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. In the fourth chain, I'm going to do 2 double crochets. So that's 1, 2. Then I will chain 1 and then do 2 more double crochets in the same chain. 1 and 2. So there's 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets. That's it. Okay, I'll give you a little more then. Okay, then to continue the repeat, you're simply going to skip 3. 1, 2, 3. In the next chain, skip 3 chains. In the next one, same thing. 2 double crochets. Chain 1. And then 2 more double crochets. I think if I put my yarn maybe on the other side. See, can I get it? Ooh, now I got some of that white fuzz on my red yarn. Okay. Pay attention, Jay. Pay attention. Alright, so far. Alright. Skip 3. 1, 2, 3. 2 double crochets. Chain 1 and then 2 more double crochets. Oops. Now I do notice that the fetching yarn, the one I did the original scarf in from Hobby Lobby, it splits terrible. So I'm telling you right up front before you send me some message. Say, Jay, I bought that yarn, it just split so bad I just gave up. No, don't give up. Then go to the use the Karen Party, because at least it doesn't split. But the fetching does split. I really like it. It was worth it. I would do it again. I have more of it in other colors. 1, 2, 3. Skip 3. 2 double crochets, but it splits awful. And when you try to pull back on something, it's hard to pull it back. It gets tangled. I guess because of the metallic in it. That's probably why. But it does split something awful. I'm telling you that right up front. And that's another reason I'm using a large size hook too. Because a smaller one would make it even worse. Okay, skip 3. 1, 2, 3. Double crochet. Just 2 double crochets. Chain 1, 2 more double crochets. A little more yarn. Okay, so let me count how many. All I'm trying to do is get to an odd number just for practice. Okay, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll do to 7. All right. Well, 7. Okay. So skip 3. 1, 2, 3. 2 double crochets. Chain 1. 2 double crochets in the same chain you're working in. Okay, a little more yarn. All right. Skip 3. 1, 2, 3. All right. This should be the end. Double crochet, double crochet, chain 1, and then 2 more double crochets. Okay. Now, when you get to the end, okay, normally we make a post. Well, we're not going to make a post on this one. This is the one where we're going to change the 1 stitch. We're going to drop working the post on this repeat. So let me see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, there's 7. Okay, that's odd. So I simply chain 3. 1, 2, 3. You know, I would normally, we would go and make another post right here somewhere. We'd skip 1 or 2 or something and do a double crochet to make a post. Well, at the end of this, you simply chain 3. We're not going to make a post. You chain 3, and then when you turn, it will be row 2. So now I'm turning, and I'm on row 2, and this is the wrong side. And believe me, you will need to know that further on up when we get ready to do other things or whatever, especially when you get ready to sew and all that. So I just take some bright yarn. I had some yellow. Take a crochet hook. You can move it up. I'm going to go ahead and just put it in there so I will remember to tell you to do it. It will save you a lot of time and everything. So just find a place that you can kind of lift the crochet hook under without going all the way through maybe. Alright, then just grab it. Loop it over your finger, grab it, pull it through just like you're doing some fringe. And then that way you didn't have to get a needle out. You just do it with a crochet hook. Alright, so now the back is marked. And you'll see why you'll need that further up the road. So I've chained 3 and I've turned. I am on row 2. Now, in every chain 1 space across, I'm going to stack. I'm just going to simply repeat this shell pattern. Here we go. That's 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets. Now it's faster and easier because you have the larger space to work from and you just stack it on top of each other. There's no guesswork. There's nothing to really just see. Now, you can just watch TV or do whatever else you want to do. Watch some YouTubes. watch some people on the YouTube. 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets. This is good YouTube catching up. Now, let's go all the way to the next chain 1 space between those double crochets. That's what we're working out of. You would do 2 double crochets. Alright, 2 double crochets, chain 1, then 2 double crochets. Okay, go over to the next repeat right there, and there's the space. 2 double crochets. Chain 1, 2 double crochets. Okay, I can see you falling asleep on me right now. Alright, let me work a few, well no, let's go to the end of this one, and then I'm going to work a few rows to show you something very important. Okay, so now I'm going to work real quick across. Just to remind you what to do. Chain 1, 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets. Okay, now we're flowing. Alright, I'm kind of coming up near the end here. So it's 2 double crochets, a little more yarn. Is it 1 double? Let's see, 2 double crochets. There it is right there. Chain 1, 2 more double crochets. Okay, let's see if I'm up at the last one. Okay, I'm up at the last one. There's the space right there. Okay, I'm going to put the 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets. Now, we would normally work the post. You know how we'd go, okay, go into the post. Nope, no post. As soon as you finish the last 2 double crochets, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, turn the work. Now you're back on row 1, the front side again. And that's all we're going to do, back and forth. Okay, so now start again. And working in the chain 1 space of every repeat across. And the repeat is, again, 2 double crochets, chain, 2 double crochet, I got to pull it out, sorry. Need a little more yarn. 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets. And you're going to work all the way across, back and forth, but you never work a post. You always stop at the, just like, just like we finished, chain 3, turn. Work to the other end, chain 3, turn. But you never work, and that creates the scallop on the edge Let me just get the original out. So, and I'm going to lay it this direction so you can see it. That creates this nice scallop right along the edge to make it oh so pretty. Now, I'm going to work a few rows so that I can show you what to do when you get it one side as long as you want, so that you can start, which will be at the back of the neck, and then we have to come down the other side, and I need to show you how to do that. So I'll work a few just so that I can show you how to come. We're going up one side, we'll go around the neck, and now you'll need to know how to come down the other side. All right, back in a moment. Okay, so now I'm coming up to where, on my sample, where I'm going to stop and tell you what the next step is. So I've done 2 double crochets, chain 1, then I'm going to do 2 double crochets, and we're pretending now like this is the length that I want to stop. All right. Now, if you look on this end, the beginning end, remember we had a chain 3 that we started with. So I'm going to go ahead and chain 3 again. 1, 2, 3. Even though I'm stopping, and I am stopping on a right side row, because the wrong side we have marked. Remember, that's another reason. It's just good to be able to tell right away. So I know I'm on the right side, and I've decided I've gone as far as I wanted to go. On my original, on this one, I did 36 inches. That will take me up one side into the back center of my neck. 36 inches for me. You can sit and count how many shells you have, or just measure 36 or 40 or 45 or whatever it is, however many inches you want to make yours. But this needs to be nice and long. So for me, 36 is long. Now for a taller person, you know, you'd go a little more. But so anyway, so we're pretending now. I've done however many rows, however many inches I want. On the original, I did 36. All right, now we need to be able to come down the other side so that we'll have 2 nice edges. Otherwise, they're not going to match. I was trying to say mix match. They're not going to match. So when I get to the last 2 double crochets, I'm going to chain 3, but instead of turning, I'm simply going to go down and right just anywhere you can, do a slip, pull a loop up, and then slip stitch that stitch down so that it matches this end over here where we started. You see, we started with a chain 3, okay, and did our 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets. Okay, I'm ending with 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets. I chain 3, and then I slip stitch it anywhere just to this next, or you can go in the same. If you can go into the same chain, you can do that. You can just slip stitch it right into the same chain where everything else. And then, of course, you're going to cut off your yarn, leave a tail if you want to, cut off your yarn after you slip stitch, and pull the loop through. Now this end matches this end. There's a chain 3. It just looks nice, okay? Okay, do you see what I'm saying? All right, I've done 36, we're pretending. I've done 36 inches, or however many, 38, whatever you want to go, and I end on a right side row. You see that? And then I do a chain 3 and just slip stitch it to the same chain if you have to, just to make the end, each side match. Now, as usual, we need to come down the other side, but we want to make sure we have 2 matching ends. So I simply, you know how I go, I turn the work. Now I'm working. Here is where we did our first chain, right here. Now, the simplest thing to do is to take my yarn, and we're going to work in every set of the shells. There's one set. You can see the hole there. There's another one. Hold it up. You can see it. There's one. We're going to simply repeat the pattern on this side. So I grab up my yarn. however you connect. There's the first shell row right there. You see it? And there's the first hole. I go in. This is just how I'm doing it, but however you want to connect. I put a loop over my hook. Just loop it over my hook and leave a nice tail. Now make sure you have a tail so you can weave it in. So I pull up, and now look, I'm going to grab both yarns and pull through the loop, and I'm going to go 1. Now you can drop the tail after that if you want to. I'm on chain 3, so that's 1. Now here's 2, here's 3. Okay. Well, I'm going to, I should have done, I pull it through, and I don't count that one. Then I chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, I pull the loop through, and then I chain 1, 2, 3. Now, that counts as the first double crochet. Now we start again. So I do 2 double crochets, 1, 2, chain 1. Now 2 more double crochets. I simply repeat the pattern on the opposite end. Okay, so there's a chain 3, there's a 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets. Now, I'm just working in the opposite direction now, but everything will line up and match. So now all I have to do is however many inches or however many repeats you did, 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets. At the very, in the beginning chain. Here we go. There's a line. See there? There's the shells right there. There's the space right here, right above it. So I do 2 double crochets, chain 1, and then 2 double crochets. All the way. There we go. 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets. Pull a little more yarn. Oops, I'm short. 1 more double crochet. I have a short one. Go to the next. Make sure you're in the right place. You can see your shells there. Alright, repeat the pattern. 2 double crochets, chain 1, and 2 double crochets. Okay, over to the next one. 2 double crochets, chain 1, then 2 double crochets. Okay, I'm coming up to the end. I see this is the last one. I'm simply going into that last space there, so 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets. We do not work the post on any row. You simply chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Now turn the work, and now we're ready to repeat. In the chain 1 space of every repeat, I start over, just like we did on the other side. 2 double crochets, oops, chain 1, 2 double crochets. And across. Again, continue across. 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets. And you will continue all the way down till you have the same number of either rows or inches, however you want to measure. And then when you turn it, once we have that, at the very end, we will look at this row to see if we need to tighten up these little circles. You see where we've connected? Sometimes they get enlarged because we're working the opposite side. And all we're going to do is simply take a yarn needle and some yarn, and just like you do the top of a hat, how you go in and just kind of work around each circle around to tighten up. And I can show you that once we get to get further up. So let me work a few rows just so that I'll have something to show you, and I will see you back. No, how easy is that? Jay's red glitter scarf. But just think, when the person who opens a box, oh my word. Okay, let me do a little more and I will be right back. Alright, now I'll go ahead and try to get this finished up. I'm coming up to, I'm going to pretend like, of course, this is just my little sample. So I'm coming up where I know, coming up to the end of a right side row, so I can get ready to stop. So I chain one, 2 double crochets, chain one, and 2 double crochets. I'm at the end and I want to end, so again I go ahead and chain 3, 1, 2, 3, but instead of turning, I simply slip stitch right in the top there or in the same chain. Just make sure you slip stitch it, and then I can cut the yarn. Cut the yarn, pull it through, the tail through, and now we're pretending now, you know, that on the original I did 36 down this way, so now we turned it around and you did 36 in the opposite direction. Okay, now, and you're going to end on a right side row. Alright, so now at the end, before we start sewing on buttons, you can start weaving in things. Alright, look and see, like I said, where we join. You can, if you look really careful, and then plus you have this, remember the chains that we didn't use? This is a good time for me now to show you how to use these chains. How to use this. Oops, I think I put a little knot in here. There we go. So what I do, I can use this yarn to sew. If I left a nice enough tail, so it's not wasted. So now you probably gonna have to have a yarn needle to kind of pick this out. So little by little you're gonna undo the knot, or you're gonna start working. Get on camera, make sure I'm on camera. Oh man, look, it's going now. Oh yeah, see, here it comes. See, now that's a lot of yarn. I understand that. Like, oh Jay, well that's a lot of yarn. Well, we're going to sew with it. We're going to sew up some of these little holes that we feel are just a little too large once I get this untangled. Let's see, can I, the metallic, I see the metallic really does catch it. It wants it to knot up. Okay, just keep going. Keep pulling. See, it's even fraying a little bit because of the metallic in it. See how it's fraying up, but that's okay. Alright, as long as I can get this out. Oh, here's a bad place. Let's see where this one goes. Oops, I think I got it moving. Oh, I got it moving. That was a lucky break. Let's see where this one goes. Right there. It's beginning to fray a little bit, but keep going. Let's see which way. Alright, there's one. Alright. Okay, just keep going now. Of course, you're looking for a place to stop before you get to, as you draw closer to the work. All right, I'm down. I think I can go one or two more. Let's see, can I pull it? See, it's a nice long. Okay, let me just look. Okay, I'm gonna stop right here and slowly pull it to a knot. Slowly pull that and any other tails to a knot that we can weave in later. Whew, boy, that was rough on camera, wasn't it? Okay, look. So now I have this long yarn. Oh, please, I hope all this was on camera. I couldn't see what I was. Okay, so now I take my yarn needle and I thread the end of the yarn. And of course, I flip it over because I want to work on the wrong side. I have it marked, remember? And you can see, I'm going to turn it this way. And if you hold it up, you can kind of see along where we joined. And you can see just like the top of a hat, you run the yarn around each circle there and pull it close. Doesn't have to be tightly closed, but maybe, see now, just pull that right in. See that? Maybe you couldn't see it on that red, but now I need to go to the next one, so I'll have to weave over there. Just weave my yarn needle right through there. And look, then I start, oh crap. Oh me, okay. So then I pull it. Now be careful, don't pull too tight. That's the whole thing. You don't want to pull it. It doesn't have to be completely closed. Now go around the other side of that hole. Now pull it in just a little bit. See, I pulled it in just enough, just so it looks like the rest. Now I need to weave my yarn. I can go back through that hole if I need to. Now I'm weaving over to the next hole. And that's all you're doing, just weaving over. Now I'm up to the next one. See my finger back there? You can kind of see where my finger... Okay, so I'll start there. And I'll work my way around the hole. I do one side at a time. Don't try to go around the whole opening. There's one side. Now I work around this side. Pull it. Don't pull it too... Pull it closed just a little bit. Now go back through this side and work my way to the other. On up this one. See, now I've used up this yarn. Now hold it up. Now you can't see any big holes where we connected. And of course you'll keep going all the way across and then weave in any ends. Then you got to come back and weave in anything else. Oh, I hope all that was on camera. Does that make sense? So now we have our scarf. Okay, so now let me show you, the buttons. I knew it was something else I was going to do. Okay, just because I'm trying to get to it. Okay, so now, here's mine. And I think I had a couple holes left to weave in. I was going to do it on this. And so I see a couple that I need to weave close a little bit right there. But I wanted to show you how I came up. Okay, so then you're going to try the scarf on. And I would take a marker and put in, now this is what you want to do. Put it around your neck and line up the very bottom edges on your body. You know, hang it around your neck. And then I'd put a mark where I want the first button. Just where the first button would look nice. So then you'd put one of these some kind of little mark or something. Okay, now take the scarf off your neck, off your body, and lay it flat on something. And line up the two bottom edges, just like this. So that everything lines up, and there are, let's see, nope, I'm not okay. I know I need to back. There we go. So now I've taken the scarf off. I've marked at least where the top button where I think it would look good on my body, or, you know. Now down here on the bottom, I'm going to line up the two bottom edges straight across. Does that make sense? Oh man, that's it. I'm just having all kind of problems here trying to get it. Alright, that's as far back as I can go. Alright. So I line up the two bottom edges like that. Now I can start kind of counting the rows using my top button as my guide. I can just simply, I start here where I marked, and I put my button, I tie it on with my yarn, needle, and thread that I just worked with. Then I see that maybe I can count 2 scallops, 1, 2, in between, and then the next button. Then 1, 2, then the next button. Or you can do 1, 2, 3, depending on, but I did 2. I skipped 2 scallops and then the next button. Just like that. So now, when I do button it up, I reach across and I grab just an opening anywhere in the lace. See, it's not, you don't have to be, I just grab a opening in the lace. It goes around the button, and you want like a, this is not a small and it's not a large, it's like a medium-sized button. And I got quite a few of these, so I put 4 buttons on. I just thought 4 was really pretty. So now I can just find an opening that will fit around my button, and voila. And I can continue up for this beautiful red glitter scarf, or maybe you can call it scarf, or a shawl scarf. I don't know. I'll have a name by the time I get the video up. Okay, so then of course I can remove that once you get all your buttons on, and there's a pretty neck. And then I thought, what would be pretty? I had some Christmas pins. So let me see, I had these Christmas pins. I thought, oh, wouldn't that be pretty? Look at this one. Look at that one. See that one? Isn't that pretty? It's a Christmas tree. I could put it there. What do you think of that one? Or I have a sled, red sled with a Christmas tree. What do you think of that? I can put that one there, or on the other side, since the sled is going that direction. Or look at this one. Isn't that pretty? A candy cane with a green bow. Isn't that cute? Oh, I think I like the candy cane. Jay's gonna be candy cane. So I put my, if you wanted to get a little pin, and usually you can find this anywhere, little novelty pins at Christmas. Now look at that. Let's see, can I move it back up now a little bit? Who wouldn't want that? Isn't that pretty? Well, I made it. I kept my word. My friend who has a friend is going to be surprised to get this beautiful shawl. Now, she'll package it. I'm just going to deliver it. She'll package it in her own pack. You know, she'll probably have a pretty bag or something. And she may have her own pen. I was just showing you how I'd put my pen on there. Hey, look, let me get my pen off here. I love my Christmas pens. I used to collect a lot of Christmas pens. I got a lot of other pens. But I used to love Christmas pen. Look, I'm going to take my Christmas pen off right quick just in case she gets the wrong idea. So, now she'll package it real pretty and put a pretty bow and all of that on there. And here is a beautiful, beautiful. Oh, and then of course I forgot the fringe. Yes, the fringe on the sample here, you simply see there's a chain in that chain 1 space across the bottom. You find that chain 1 space right there across the bottom. Chain 1, can you see it? Chain 1. That's, you're going to put your fringe there, and you know how to do the fringe. I just did it on the previous video on the on that Halloween video, Boo Fabulous. I showed you exactly how I do my little fringe. So you just put your fringe in that chain 1 space, and I did about 7 strands, and by the time you fold in half, see, it becomes 14. So that's really nice. And make it long. I had long fringe. A long scarf and nice long fringe. What do you think of that? Ooh. Well, I'm telling you, these are some strange times. It's the best of times and it's the worst of times. And that's the way it's always been. You can always find some light somewhere at the end of the tunnel. What else can we say? We've come to the end of another year. Uncertainty is all about us, but hey, nothing we can do but just keep going forward. I'm so glad that I have my YouTube friends. I'm so glad that for all your friendship, I thank you. Thank you for all your support. I'm so glad that I have the love of something. I just can't imagine just living, just going day to day and not having nothing to just to take your mind off of things, or just can't find a moment of peace about anything, you know? So uncertain. You know, it will just, I don't know, it could eat you alive. But we have a nice community here, the knitters, the crocheters. I watch the floss tubers. There's just so many different things, the scrapbookers. There's just so much, you know, thank goodness we can share our talents with each other and with our friends on the YouTube. I just don't know. So, but I hope that you give this a try. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful and happy and a Merry Christmas. And I hope you have happy holidays. And I look forward to us meeting again here at Jay's Knitting Purl Jam, the first, you know, the new year. Like you say, I don't make a whole lot of plans and resolutions and all that. But I do, you know, make a plan, and then I start working my plan. And I'm working for next year to do even bigger and just better things. And I want you to come along on the journey with me. You know, you lift me up, I lift you up. And I just thank you so much. Thank you for all that you have just made possible for me to just have at this time of my life. Who would have thought I'd be on YouTube and just have all the friends, and it's just wonderful. So I hope you give this a try. Coming up, just in case all those who sent me pictures and think, well, Jay, you didn't even do the oh no, I got it. Oh, something's gonna be up. I had planned it for Thanksgiving, but Thanksgiving wasn't gonna be long enough. It was gonna be too short. And so by the time I did that tutorial and then this one, I had to do this for my friend. So I've got a long span between Christmas and the next, you know, 2017, the first project. So it will be up in just a few days after this, we get this up. Then I'm going to, we will have all the pictures that were sent in for this last Jay's Friendship album, page 4. And it is, oh, I'm telling you, it's gonna rock. It is, you got to see what other people have done with my simple designs. How blessed, it is just amazing. It looks better than mine. But that's okay, that's a good thing. Oh, so I want to wish you and your family a Merry, Merry Christmas, best wishes, happy holidays, and all the others that goes with it. And I hope and believe that I will see you in the new year. So until then, this is Jay. This is Jay's Knit and Purl Jam saying, see you in the new year. Thank you, my friend. Thank you.